All right, what's good? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. Me in the building. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. And we talking about the best of the rest. How can the Bob Quinn Salvage Detroit Lions free agency? I know it's been kind of in the shitter for most people. Excuse my language, but you gotta understand this. Bob Quinn told you guys that he wasn't gonna try to, do it all at once. He wasn't gonna try to turn this thing around quick. He want to do it the right way. And if this is his philosophy, man, we got to ride with it because he's here for at least, 5 more years. So, I mean, it is what it is. We know the Lions are frugal. I say it again. The Lions are frugal. You know what frugal means? Cheap. And, they're not going to go out there and make no splashes. I mean, LeGarrette Blount, they probably was itching and scratching and sweating signing him to that deal with the incentives can boost it up to almost $10 million a year. But they have yet to address they front. They front seven. I mean, they lost Nada. You can't depend on the Keem Smiths and the rest of them. I mean, Ashawn Robinson need a running mate. And Ziggy need a running mate on the outside, edge rusher. So, I don't know if they run a 3-4-4-3, hybrid 3-4-4-3. But, start off with Ndamukong Suh, even though it sounds like he may be close to signing with Seattle. That's what I'm hearing. But, he wrote a letter, said he always wanted to come back. I doubt it. But the Lions can make a run at him. I mean, 12, 13 per year. Maybe that's what he's looking for. Seattle, they stripped a lot of their money down. I don't even know if Ndamukong Suh truly wants to win. Why do you want to go there? They're not going to be winning for a while. They're trying to build back up. Philly for him. I don't know what happened with Philly, but Philly is invested into their front seven. A lot of different guys. They bought Nigel Bradham back. Fletcher Cox is up front. Brandon Graham is up front. So they got a lot of key hogs up there. He'd definitely make Philly that much scarier if he was to join Fletcher Cox. And he said he'd pay for Philly for free. But in Detroit, I mean, he gave the Lions an identity. It was nasty. It was dirty. Him stumping on guys' arm. I was actually at that game. He doing stuff of that nature. But it gave the Lions an identity. The Lions don't have an identity on defense, and that's why I thought perhaps Eric Reid could do, or Richard Sherman, even though I wasn't big on signing him, or somebody that could have been an enforcer or a difference maker in the defense overall to get the Lions an identity. That's one thing you'd be paying for Ndamukong Suh, to give him identity and give Alshon Robinson and Zeke Ansah amazing push. And I watch your sack numbers go back up. I'm not a fan of neither one of the linebackers the Lions signed. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know too much about Christian Jones or Kennard, but if they planning on them starting, I mean, it's doing the same thing they did last year, trusting in Warlow and Whitehead, whatever that guy's name is, trusting in, third or fourth or last tier linebackers to step up and start in the NFL. You got to pay money, to get production, and maybe they feel like the scheme fit for Christian Jones and that Kennard guy, it'll work. So we'll see, but Jonathan Hankins is another big guy who got cut because of a contract by the Indianapolis Colts. And they don't even have the fortunes to cut a guy up front on their front seven because they suck up front. But Hankins, I think he played with the Giants. I think he's from Ohio State. I think, he'd be good, he into Alshon Robinson's yang. He's a good run defender. He'll allow to take up some double teams and let Robinson get upfield. I don't know what his money, demands are. But he'd be a good fit for the Lions front seven because the Lions probably feel that they can get, some front seven help in the draft, which I don't see it unless they have a plan on moving up or they see somebody they really like they can get at a specific place in the draft. But I don't see, where they picking an electric pass rusher like that. But maybe if Maurice Hurst heart check out, maybe they can get him later in the rounds. Stuff of that nature. But, Eric Reid is another guy who's being blackballed, and we know Martha Ford asked the team not to kneel no more, and Reed's Maben and somebody else kneeled with him still, and they disobeyed Martha, and Martha is really old school, and she's going to be with the Jerry Jones of the world and those guys who are against kneeling and stuff of that nature. So, I mean, Eric Reid is just going to be in that category with Colin Kaepernick. He may never play in the league again for kneeling, even though the whole league only kneeled because, Trump, but he was kneeling before that. But he's an excellent player. It should be crazy for him not to be in the league come when training camp start. I mean, he's a strong safety that can play the nickel, who delivers the bang, who can cover man-to-man and nickel, play zone in the safety, play man, everywhere. He can do everything. He's very highly athletic, strong safety. And he'd be a great fit for Detroit. He's better than Killebrew. He's better than Diggs. He's definitely better than Wilson. And like I told you guys leading up to this, he won't really break the bank. But LaMarcus Joyner is another guy similar to Eric Reid. With versatility playing a nickel. He's a ball hawk in the back end. He'll be a good depth player with RJ Diggs as well. He could return kicks. He just got a little injury problem. But, Reid and Joyner won't break the bank. But I think these are all four guys that possibly, can help the Lions salvage the free agent period. By the day, their price tags could be dropping. And I think these are the four. I didn't do tight ends. We talked about tight end replacements the other day. But, if I had my pick, it would be Reid and Hankins. I really don't want Ndamukong Suh back because if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. I don't want, no angry dudes, don't want to be here held captive and don't want to be a part of what Bob Quinn's trying to build. But Reid and Hankins, I like Joyner, but Reid and Hankins is, I think, guys that definitely can impact this defense right now and, and help. And then they can just fill out the rest of the needs. But the Lions not looking to win right now, and Bob Quinn said that. So y'all know what it is. We go.